Questo cinematografo di Penwolf è finito e gli italiani sono i padroni.
Oh, Mr. Bogan, why you do that to me?
Pickering, why can't a woman be...
But yes, he has a flexible shift.
I do not. Oil managers, super... And from my past experience...
Zambetti?
It's 1986. It's been 18 years since Bill Bogan started to work for SS White Industrial Products. We've come to know some little-known facts about it. One that I learned just recently is that this summer wasn't Bill's first trip to Rome. I just found out recently that 2 years after they were married, Sally met the parish priest. And he asked her how she was, and she said fine, and he asked her were there any little ones. And she said, no, not yet, Father. He said, well, I'm going to Rome, and I'll light a candle for you. About 4 years later, Sally bumped into the parish priest again, and he said, oh, Mrs. Bogan, how are you? And she said, I'm fine. He said, are there any little ones now? And she said, 10. He said, oh, and where's Bill? He said, well, he's in Rome trying to put that candle out. Well, we hope you enjoy this and some other little-known facts that we found out about you, Bill, as you view this film.
Look over here.
How are you, Bill Bogan? You and I never saw eye to eye. You did it your way, I did it my way. You had 9 kids, I had 2. Now you have back trouble. But all in all, I hope you recover and enjoy your retirement. See you soon. That's all.
I have always considered Mr. Bogan to be a terrific vice president and general manager. In addition, he has always shown a concern for all of the employees here at SS White. He is a caring, understanding man who ran the operation as if we were members of his family. All of this comes from the bottom of my heart.
Back in 1971, when I went for a job interview in Staten Island, after 2.5 hours of a grueling interview, I decided I'd never want to work for Mr. John McCrae, especially after he asked me to answer my 3 strengths and my 3 weaknesses. I answered the 3 strengths that I had immediately, but when it came to the weaknesses, I hesitated. And when I did, Mr. Bogan walked in, and I saw this gorgeous hunk of man and decided this was my weakness. I wanted to find out whether he was married or single, and I took the job. When I found out he was married and had 9 children, being a woman of moral standards, I let him go. Now, 15 years later, being much more liberated, I'd like to give you my telephone number, Bill, 555-1212.
Señor William Bogan, ha sido para mí un placer el haber trabajado con ustedes todo este tiempo, desde 1971 hasta 1986, y les deseo un feliz retiro. Ha sido muy bonito haber trabajado todos estos años en SS White. Gracias.
Hi, Bill. You remember how hard we worked on a scrap project in 1975 and reduced the scrap from 18% down to about 8% in a very short period of time. But now that you are leaving us, Bill, what shall I do with the scrap you asked me to hide?
You're a good man. SS Whites will miss you. So will I. Will told me to say this or he'll fire me. Good luck, Godspeed, happy retirement.
One thing I have to say about Mr. Bogan, he is a modest man. But then when you examine his life in detail, you realize he has a lot to be modest for. All kidding aside, Bill, you are sort of okay. Maybe.
Hi, Bill. My name's Marty Muth. I'm the new production and inventory control manager. I never really got to know you, so let's keep it that way.
I think it's about time I let everybody know a little secret about Mr. Bogan. Believe it or not, Mr. Bogan cannot be trusted with women. As a matter of fact, his wife told me at a company picnic that it's so bad that you cannot even trust him with a double-breasted jacket.
I all know that one of your many traits is that you're frugal. I realized this after you and I first met and really got to know one another many years ago. Of all places, in the maternity ward of Somerset Hospital. I believe it was around 1956. My wife and Sally were roommates when our second child was born. And I believe it was yours and Sally's second also. This frugal nature of yours came to light when I realized that for the next 7 consecutive years, you had Sally booked in advance in Somerset Hospital's maternity ward at the 1956 rates. And your philosophy probably was, Bill, that leaven can be born and live as cheaply as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. Of course, you know, Bill, I'm only kidding, and that you were always a good sport about such things. And you and Sally have to be really proud that you're able to raise such a large family. Best wishes to both of you and for a happy, healthy retirement.
I wanted to let you know that it's been very nice working with you, and I wish you the best of luck in the future. I also hope that you don't have the same problem Mr. Terry does, because he doesn't know what day of the week it is anymore.
Okay, here we go. We have some telegrams here, and I have to read them to you. Put on my glasses. Now, this says, from Walter. I am happy to hear you are retiring. I am sorry to hear you are moving to Florida. I was hoping you would leave the country. And he signed the WK. You guess who it is. All right, here we have one from your loving friend, Lee Farrell. I am sorry I am not here tonight, but driving to work with you used to scare the beer out of me. You were okay behind the wheel as long as the car isn't moving. He signed, Lee. And now we have a very important one here. It's from President Reagan. It reads, well, signed, Reagan. And let me say something. I'm really happy you're retiring early, because how long can you keep fooling these people? Have a good time on your boat. Don't drown. Ciao. Cut.
Hi, Bill. This is the old Lena. You remember when I was cutting the springs? And I showed you the bra was all there, and I said, hell, this is no damn safety. Now, I'm a good girl now. I've changed, and I'm working for the Lord now. We wish you luck on your speedy recovery, Bill. I love you, and I miss you. Take care of yourself. That all right?
Bill, you was with us for 18 years. You have made a lot of changes. The car was green. Now it's blue. Have a happy retirement. Good luck.
Ready? Bill, remember the time we were down at corporate making the first presentation of the Piscataway plant layout, and it was rejected? At that point, you really took it like a man. You started crying. Best of luck.
Bill, no one knew about our secret love affair. I'll never forget the time you got seasick in the waterbed. I thought you were a better sailor than that. Now that the affair is over, what shall I do with the key to our apartment?
Not serious. They've asked me to say a few words too. You know, I'm such a hilarious guy, and it's always merriment and fun and games, and you know, I really want to participate in this thing too. And I've checked over what everybody said before, and I think there's a lot of fact in these statements that have been made. But you know, there may be one or two things that aren't accurate. And just to get the record straight, I've asked R&D to investigate the background and all the things that have gone on, so that we really have facts. And so I asked Doug Shipman to present This Is Your Life, Bill Bogan.
Two Irish immigrants, Bill had a simple childhood. Although his parents were poor, there was always a hearty meal for the family of baked potatoes and beer. This cuisine left a lasting impression on Bill and would later lead to his first entrepreneurial venture, Bogan's House of Potatoes. This establishment was very successful for 3 days until Bill ran out of beer and the ensuing riot destroyed the building. Bill attended a Catholic grammar school where his teachers still remember him as a quiet yet strange little boy. His teachers did, however, recognize his leadership abilities early on, and he was put in charge of the Blackboard Eraser Maintenance Committee. As the only member of this committee, he dutifully cleaned erasers until the age of 20 when he entered high school. By 1955, Bill had met and married Sally, who was working at that time as a fingerprinting clerk at the local police station during one of Bill's brief stays. At high school, Bill majored in sewing and astrology. Both these subjects were to have a major effect on his later life when his sewing experience would land him a job at Singer, and his mystical ability to predict the future would lead to a position at SS White as production and inventory control manager. Bill graduated high school at age 37 and started work at Singer as supervisor of shipping and receiving. He was always fond of telling us how he saved the company thousands of dollars by canceling their contracts with outside trucking companies and purchasing a fleet of ox carts, which he painted a lovely shade of green. About this time, he started night classes at college. Here, he majored in sailing and fashion design. Unfortunately, neither of these majors resulted in a successful career. Although he later enjoyed sailing as a hobby, his line of high-fashion leather nightwear was never well received by the public. Bill left Singer in 1971 to start his career at SS White as production and inventory control manager. Here he developed what became known as the Bogan Materials Ordering System. By using his previous experience in the mystic arts, he was able to hold a folded blueprint to his forehead and determine the material requirements necessary for inventory. This system proved so successful that it has been patented and is still in use by SS White today. Another major contribution Bill made to SS White was while the company was moving from Staten Island to Piscataway. Bill was responsible for this move, which he accomplished by working nights and weekends with nothing more than a hand truck and his own station wagon. He tells us, unfortunately, he slipped while unloading a 50-ton press from the roof of his car and sustained back injuries which would haunt him later in life. After his promotion to plant manager, Bill worked closely with Walter Kulishenko, who was to teach him everything he would ever know about marine steering systems. Bill distinguished himself outside of SS White as well. Although it only sold 9 copies, his book, The Art of Appearing to be Listening While Asleep, was described by his children as being novel in its approach to new management techniques. He also served for several years as an admiral in the Coast Guard Auxiliary, where he once single-handedly brought to justice the entire crabbing fleet, whom he suspected were transporting secret documents to Russian submarines hiding in Barnegat Bay. Although the crabbers were never convicted, a state policeman involved in the arrest, Lee Farrow, and Bill were to become good friends, and they corresponded regularly by mail until it abruptly ended when Lee ran out of stamps. Bill was also responsible for establishing the New Jersey chapter of APEX, APICS, which stands for the American Psychic Inventory Control Society, which still meets regularly every full moon and Halloween. Now that Bill has retired, his plans include moving to Florida this spring, flying back for his sailboat in early summer, and using his extraordinary navigational skills to sail back to Florida via the inland waterway with a brief stopover in Kansas City. Bill, we all wish you well in your coming adventures, and we hope you'll remember your friends at SS White.
Hi, Bill and Sally. I hope you enjoyed this movie. Bill, you worked for SS White for 18 years, and we all enjoyed working with you during that time. Now that you're leaving, Bill, hang on to all the happy memories. We had a good time together.
Once upon a time there was a tavern where we used to raise a glass or two. Remember how we laughed away the hours. Think of all